Who here plays Minecraft on the school server? Coach said when he burst into homeroom. Most of us froze. No one knew why the gym coach of all people was asking that at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. I raised my hand slow. So did some others. But coach didn't wait. All of you, out, right now. We followed him into the hallway. Kids were staring at us like we were getting dragged to the underworld. Where are we going? I asked. Coach didn't answer. He just kept walking really fast, like someone had pressed fast forward on him. We passed the cafeteria, then the music hall, then the front office. My friend Mateo whispered, "Bro, this is not normal." We finally stopped at the library conference room. Inside were the principal, the librarian, and our IT director, Mrs. Greeley. She had 2 laptops open and looked stressed enough to explode. We sat down. The principal folded his fingers. "Coach tells me you all play Minecraft," he said. I had no idea what that had to do with anything. Mrs. Greeley cleared her throat and said, "Our district server had an incident last night, and the room didn't just go quiet. Everyone froze. Our school's Minecraft server was where everyone hung out after homework, so hearing something had happened felt like hearing the school had caught fire." Coach stepped beside her and scanned the class like he already suspected someone. "Who plays survival mode regularly?" 10 hands went up, and the air grew heavier. "Who plays creative only?" 4 hands. "Creative only group, you can go." They rushed out fast like they wanted no part of this. The rest of us stayed seated, tense, as Coach continued narrowing us down. "Who logs in past 8 p.m.? Half of us lifted our hands hesitantly. Other half, back to class. When the door shut, only me, Mateo, Griffin, and the twins remained. The principal stepped forward and told us to answer honestly, her voice calm but sharp enough to spike my heartbeat. "Who was online between 9 and midnight?" Only the 3 of us raised our hands, and the twins hurried out like the room was on fire. Mrs. Greeley clicked something on her laptop, and 3 usernames appeared. My stomach dropped when mine flashed up there. One of these 3 placed an unauthorized structure on the server. Mateo started to ask if it was just a building, but the principal cut him off. This wasn't a building. Another click, and a blurred screenshot appeared. Some massive, distorted shape made of blocks. Even pixelated, it looked wrong. Coach's eyes narrowed. "Who used TNT last night?" Mateo and I shook our heads immediately. Griffin raised his hand slowly, only once, blowing up a cave. Coach stared at him long enough for the silence to feel dangerous. Finally, the principal told us to return to class and said they'd call us one at a time. We walked back without speaking. Mateo didn't crack a single joke, which scared me more than anything else. 20 minutes later, the intercom buzzed loudly. "Can we have Nathaniel and Mateo to the library, please?" Every head turned toward us like we'd been sentenced. The hallway felt too quiet as we walked, the twisting in my stomach tightening with every step. Inside the conference room were the principal, coach, and Mrs. Greeley, and a 6th grader hunched in a chair, hoodie low, hands clenched. No one explained him. Mrs. Greeley handed us Chromebooks and told us to open our logs. My hands shook as lines of data filled the screen. The 6th grader leaned in, studying everything with sharp focus, checking mine, then Mateo's, then mine again. The room held its breath until he finally pointed at Mateo's screen. There. Coach took slow steps toward Mateo. "Nate," he said my name carefully. "Step aside." I moved away from my best friend without understanding why. The principal told Mateo, "Please stand up." He did, confused, scared, trying to smile but failing so badly it looked painful. Mrs. Greeley turned her laptop toward me. Now the screenshot was clearer. The structure wasn't a house or a statue. It was an exact cube-for-cube replica of the 6th grader's real house. Front porch, mailbox number, bushes, everything. And beside it were 4 signs. The messages on them were horrible. Threats, commands, his full name typed out, coordinates from Google Earth. It was clear now that whoever built it wasn't making a joke or showing off. They were targeting him on purpose, using the replica of his house as a warning. A scare tactic meant to let him know they knew exactly where he lived. My stomach dropped so fast I felt dizzy. Coach said to Mateo, "We know which account built it. We know how long it took. We know the messages came from your login." Mateo kept shaking his head. I wouldn't. The 6th grader stared at the floor like he'd seen this all before, like he expected it. The principal said, "This was not a prank. This was targeted intimidation of a child, and it came from your device." Mateo just stood there shaking. I had no idea what to feel. Fear, shock, confusion, all of it.